Welcome guys to our review of Math Review for Tuesday, May 12, 2020. Okay, so we're going to begin. We have 3 questions, and so we're going to begin with the first one. Alright, so Rosa ate 3/8 of a cookie for lunch. She ate 2/8 after school. She will give the rest to her brother. What fraction of the cookie will she give her brother? Alright, so we're going to underline important facts. So we know that she ate 3/8 of a cookie for lunch, and then she ate 2/8 of that cookie after school. And whatever's left, she gave to her brother. So I know when I see the word rest, I'm thinking that we're going to have to subtract. And the question is saying what fraction of the cookie will she give to her brother. So in my final answer, I have to write it out in a fraction. Let me write out my facts real quick. Let's choose a cute font, guys. Alright, so 3/8 equals what she ate for lunch, and 2/8 for what she ate after school. Okay, and then we have to find out the missing fraction for whatever she gave to her brother. So the rest, the remaining cookie, or the remaining fraction of the cookie. Okay, so immediately I know that I'm going to add 3/8 and 2/8 to find out how much she ate. Okay, so I'm going to do 3/8 plus 2/8. And I know that because my denominator is the same, I am able to add. So 3 plus 2 will equal to 5. So she ate, the total the total fraction that Rosa ate was 5/8. Now I need to figure out what fraction did she give to her brother. So what am I going to subtract? I know I'm going to subtract something with 5/8. Let me see if there's a clue. Well, I noticed that the denominator is 8, right? So I know that 8 makes up a whole. Whenever the numerator and the denominator is the same, that makes up a whole. So it makes up one whole cookie. And I know that she ate 5/8 of that cookie, and whatever's the rest belongs to her brother. So I'm going to subtract 8/8, take away 5/8. That's going to give me 8 take away 5 is 3/8. So the remaining, or the rest, she gave to her brother is 3/8. Alright guys, check your answer. Okay, we're going to move along to our next question. A teacher is setting up a center with exactly 8 post-its in each. How many centers can he set up if he has 116 post-its? Okay, so immediately I see the word each, and that tells me that I'm either multiplying or dividing. Sorry guys. Alright. Okay, so I need to figure out what am I doing here. I notice, I'm going to write down my facts, that 1 center equals to 8 post-its. So let's write that down. And I am looking for how many centers, so question mark, center, will this teacher be able to make if he has 116 Post-its. Alright guys, so I am thinking now that since we know that 116 is the total, and 8 post-it makes up 1 center, then I know that I'm going to have to divide. So I'm basically grouping the 116 post-its into groups of 8. In other words, I'm dividing 116 post-its into groups of 8. Group of 8. And then that's going to give me the centers, the amount of centers. So let's see. Let's divide. Are you ready? I'm going to have 8 here and 116. Alright, so how many times does 8 go into 1? Well, 0 times. So 8 times 0 is 0. And I know that I'm going to be subtracting because division is repeated subtraction. So 1 take away 0 is 1. Then I'm going to bring down the 1, and it's going to make 11. So how many times does 8 go into 11? Well, I know that's 1 time. And then I'm going to subtract. 8 times 1 is 8, right? I'm going to subtract. So 11 take away 8 is 3. And then I'm going to bring down the 6. I'm going to get 36. Now, let's say you're not sure. Miss Ma forgot her 8 times tables. Oh no, so what can I do? Well, I can use a strategy. I can write out my 8 times tables. So let's do that together. I can do 8 times 1 equals 8. 8 times 2 equals 16. 8 times 3, 8 times 3 equals 24. And then 8 times 4 equals to 32. Remember, we want to get as close to 36 as we can without going over. So 8 times 5 equals 40. So I know that I'm over. So it's not 8 times 5. So the closest I can get to 36 is 4. Okay, so I'm going to write a 4 here. Sorry. I'm going to write a 4 here. And 8 times 4 is 32. Let me erase this first, guys. Sorry about that. And then 32. So this is remaining. So remember, we want to label, make sure that we understand what each part is. 8 represents the number of post-its needed to make up 1 center, right? And then we have 116 is the total number of post-its that the teacher has, and we're trying to find out how many centers he can make. So the remainder is the remainder is how many post-its are remaining. So there are 4 post-its remaining. And 14 represents the number of centers that the teacher can make. Alrighty. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting. It's really difficult to write with a mouse. Alright guys, so then that is the answer, 14 centers. So we might see that it's remaining 4. Can we make a center out of the remaining 4 post-its? Well, let's look back at our word problem. It says a center with exactly 8 post-its. So we can't make a new center because there's not enough post-its. So your final answer should be 14. 14 centers. Alright, pause this video now and check your answer. Okay, and we're going to go to our last question. It says name the obtuse angle inside the shape. Okay, so this is a question all about angles. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write out what I know about angle. So the first thing is I'm going to do right angles, right? Our benchmark angle. A right angle is 90 degrees. And then an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Let's make this smaller. And finally we have our obtuse angle, which equals to more than 90 degrees. Alright guys, so we're going to do that. So I'm going to look at all the angles and see which one is an obtuse angle. That means it's more than 90 degrees. Remember, we know that right angles are made from two perpendicular lines or two straight lines, and they form a 90-degree angle. So anything that is less than will be smaller than this, and anything that is more, or an obtuse angle, will be larger than this angle. Okay, so let's take a look. Alright, and also I noticed this word name the angle. So when we're naming an angle, we have to remember that there are three letters that are needed to name an angle, and the middle letter is where the angle falls. So where the angle falls and where the vertex is. Okay, the point of where the angle is. So let's start with this angle here. So CAD is an acute angle because I know that it looks smaller than a right angle. And then we're going to take a look at this angle. So DA, because this is where the angle falls on this vertex, A vertex. So DAB is also an acute angle. Alright, so I know that it's none of these angles. And now let's take a look. Let's use a different color. Let's take a look at this angle. Let's take a look at this angle. Alright, so I'm going to start from this point. ABC is an acute angle. What about this one? So CBD is also an acute angle. And what about this angle? This one, sorry. So BDA is not an obtuse angle. In fact, it looks like it is an acute angle. Well, it is because it's smaller than 90. And what about this one? So it's CDA. This angle is also an acute angle because it's smaller or less than a right angle. And then we're going to take a look at this angle. So DCB, angle DCB is also an acute angle. And when we look at this angle, we have BCA. Angle BCA is also an acute angle. So that leaves us with this angle. Oh, that looks like an obtuse angle, and I know this because it is more than 90 degrees. It looks more than 90 degrees. Okay, or larger than 90 degrees. Alright, so how am I going to name this obtuse angle? The first thing you have to do is write that symbol, the angle symbol, and begin. So you can either begin with B or A. Just make sure the E is in the middle. So I'm going to write angle BEA, or angle AEB. Alright, that looks really sloppy, guys. Alright, so I'm just going to write it BEA, AEB. I don't want to forget my angle symbol, so I'm going to have to write this one. Alright, and that's it. Alright guys, so check your answer, and I'll see you next time.